Okay guys, so let's look over the glute activation exercises then. So again, I've got some resistance bands. Like I said, you could use the plastic ones as well. They work fine. I really like these. They're a little bit more durable, a little bit more comfortable as well. Again, they doesn't feel like it's pulling all the hairs out your leg. You've got hair legs like me. So how are we going to do the clams first? So I've seen this exercise done a few different ways, but the way I like it, again I'm going to explain the reasons why I do it this way. It should make sense based on what we looked at in previous videos with the muscles that we were targeting. So when we're doing this, any of the activation exercises, we've got to think about how do we get the other muscles that might be trying to get involved to work. How do we get rid of those, and how do we get the glutes as isolated as possible and get them to maximise their activity? How do we do that? So I'm going to walk you through that, what we do. So again, for the clam exercise, if I want to get the gluteus medius to really work, that muscle's going to play a really important role every time you stand on one leg. It's going to help maintain alignment of the pelvis and also stop the knees from collapsing inwards. So what we're going to do, ideally, using a wall or something to kind of block our hips, give our back against the wall would be really, really helpful. If you don't have it, it's fine. You can do it away from the wall. Just make sure that your pelvis is nice and stable. There's no movement. We can't rock back and forth. Okay. Second thing I want to do, so doing that again, we'll make sure that the load stays on the glutes. Now, to get the TFL out of the picture, and I said again, we did the TFL release in the release video, in the first part of the mobility part of this warm up. I said about how the TFL can get really tight, really overactive. That's that muscle kind of in that front pocket area. So TFL being the tensor fascia lata, not transport for London, just clearing that up. So right there, which again, if that gets short, if that gets overactive, that can, again, that's also a hip flexor, that can cause that excessive curving of the spine. It can cause us to collapse forward, can cause the knees to bow in as well, to kind of collapse inwards. So we don't want more of that. We want that guy to shut off. We don't need that guy, we need the other guys, we need the glutes to work. So by having my hips, again, about 60 degrees, to get that TFL out, what I'm going to do is my foot here, I'm actually going to turn it in a little bit. I'm going to keep my big toe against the ground, because the TFL can rotate the feet outwards. It can turn the tibia bone out. So by turning the tibia bone in, it takes that muscle out of the picture. So that's fine. So again, you just need to keep your toe against the ground. The other one, again, I'm going to keep my knees at this, keep my hips at this kind of 60-degree mark. Again, so I don't want to be all the way up here. I want to be here. The reason being, I've got another muscle, the piriformis muscle, which I'll get to mention in the video. Can, again, if the glutes aren't working very well, the piriformis muscle is one of those muscles which will try and take over you, but your nervous system will recruit in order to help out. If the glutes aren't working, that can get very overactive. That can cause issues. That can cause some restriction for us. So to get that out, again, I'm not going to be too high. I need to have my knees a bit lower. Okay, so that's the main two we really need to focus on. There is some muscles in the spine which can cause the hips to kind of, to kind of shift left and right. We don't want to be up here in this kind of bent position. We want to be nice and flat. That will keep those out of the picture as well. And also, there are also muscles which can cause that curvature of the spine. So we don't want that. So again, maybe just gently joining at the spine, keep the core switched on. In this position, all you're going to do is you're just going to open your top leg. You're going to go as far as you can before that toe, so that toe doesn't come off the ground. Okay, kind of like a 45-degree angle is absolutely fine. You're going to hold it there for 4 seconds. You're going to come down for 2. We're just going to go halfway. We're not going to come all the way down. We're just going to come down halfway. So there's still a little bit of tension there. You're still having to work a little bit. Then we can return, go back up, hold it for 4 seconds. Again, keeping that foot down. Coming down for 2, pushing back up, squeeze your bum muscles really, really tight. Get back, you've got 25 notes with your bum cheeks, don't drop it, or any money that you want. Push back up, squeeze it, hold it, 4 seconds, come back down, push it back up, squeeze it, hold it, 4 seconds, come back down. And again, we're looking to do 10 to 20 repetitions of these. That's ideally kind of what we're looking for. That kind of 12 rep mark is absolutely fine. How many of these we do? 1 to 3 times. Once is usually okay, that's fine. What I will do, guys, in the future videos, I will look at showing you guys a activation circuit for the glutes, where we'll kind of do all these exercises in quick succession so you can see what it looks like. That's what it would look like in practice. But for today, I'm just kind of breaking each exercise down and going through like the intricacies of each one. So that's the clams. So that's going to get the glute. That's going to it is doing glute max as well. It's mostly glute med. If we want to take this further and get that glute med to work even harder, so as a progression, once you've mastered the clams and the clams are becoming a bit more easier, again, you can always up this with different bands. This is a bit of a lighter one, but you can use stronger ones. If you want a progression, if we're trying to take this even further, the next progression from the clams would be the side leg raise. So again, I'm going to have this leg completely straight now. This one stays bent, it's going to create that resistance. And I'm going to lock out my knee. Okay, so that's going to help to accentuate the activation of the glutes there. Okay, so again, I haven't got my knee bent. Also, I want this nice and straight as well, so my hamstrings aren't getting involved. Again, if I'm bent, they're going to try and take over a little bit. I want to be nice and straight. Okay, keep my heel against the wall. Again, if you worry about marking the walls up, that's absolutely fine. Maybe just do it with your socks on, or if you have got your shoes on, if you're at the gym, just put like a little pad or something between you and the wall, like a little hand towel or something. Maybe your gym towel, that'd be absolutely fine. Or anything you want to use. So you're in this position, you're nice and straight. Again, you're against the wall. And then from there, we're just going to bring that leg up against the wall. We're going to hold it again 4 seconds. So we're using that 4-2-2 tempo. We're going to go up for 2, hold for 4, down for 2. Again, still keeping a bit of tension on, not going all the way down. About halfway, push back up, squeeze it, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway, push back up, squeeze it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that leg nice and straight. Come down. I'm cheating a bit there. Back up, squeeze it, hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down. And again, coming back up. Lock everything out. Push that heel against the wall. Try and lift that foot up as well a little bit. Keep it there. And back down. And there you go. That's a progression as well. Again, a really good exercise to do if we really want to get those glutes working. But it is a progression. Maybe if you're new to this, don't start with that. Start with the clams, and then we can move into this. Again, the wall is nice if you can use it. Again, if you don't have a wall, you could still do that. What you're looking for though is trying to make sure that the leg is kind of coming. Again, it's coming up and slightly back, slightly away. So it's like a bit of a diagonal, sort of like oblique pattern. What we don't want, which I do see a lot unfortunately, is people will do this and they'll kind of come forward. I like the wall because again you have to extend your hip, you have to push back against it. That gets the glutes working. If we come forward, again your glutes don't flex it, they extend it, but the TFL and the other hip flexors will flex the hip. They're going to get involved again, which we don't want. They're the ones that kind of got us into this mess. We want to get them out because they got so short and tight and overactive. We want less of that. So we don't want to be doing this thing. That's just going to undo all that great mobility work we just did. So we don't want that. We don't want to be here doing this, or even slightly. We want to be going backwards. So if you haven't got a wall, just make sure again it's up, it's slightly behind. Again, you'll feel your glutes work just by doing that. If you go forward and do it, your glutes kind of feel a bit more, they feel a little bit more mushy. Again, they don't feel tense. If you go backwards, they do feel tense. You can feel them really tighten up and get hard and get really stiff and hard there by coming backwards. So again, you can feel that just by doing that. So again, make sure it's up, it's back. Use the wall if you can. It's definitely a good aid to have there. So that's glute medius. Okay, glute max. A couple of ways we can do it. The 2 ways I do it again, I'll go talk through how to get some of those other muscles out. What we need to do is roll onto the front for this one. So with this one, the 2 muscles we really kind of want to get out is the hamstrings. So that bicep femoris muscle that we did a release for when we were sitting on the stool and we used the ball. Again, because if the glutes aren't working, the hamstrings will try and take over for you know, for extending the hip. So that's extending the hip. Again, if the glutes aren't working, the hamstrings will try and do it. We don't want that. We want the hamstrings to have a day off because they've earned it. They work really, really hard because the glutes get lazy. And we've got to get the glutes working again. So he needs to not be lazy, he needs to go back to work. So how do we do that? We're going to lay completely flat. Put the head down on the forearms here, make a little pillow. I'm going to bring my legs apart slightly. I'm going to lock out my knee, point my toes down. By locking out my knee, I then put the hamstrings on stretch and in a position where they can't generate much force, so they're not going to get involved. And I'm also going to make sure I'm not here, I'm not arching my back, because then my back muscles can't get involved. I'm nice and flat. Gently pull up my belly button in, that'll get my core working. And then from here, I'm just going to raise, I'm just going to try and get that leg up off the floor. I'm just trying to lift my thigh off the ground. So I'm going to come up, hold it for 4, come back down, lift it up, hold it for 4, come back down, lift it up, hold it for 4, come back down. Again, just squeezing my thigh, squeezing my quad muscles up, hold it for 4, and down. Again, make sure I'm not arching my back, get it completely flat, and back down. Okay. That can be a little tricky, especially if we have got really dominant hamstrings, they really want to get involved and not letting go. That can be a little tricky. So a way we can, a nice alternative we can do is doing the hip bridge. So again, if you roll over to the back here, and what we want to do, if you can pull your heels nice and close, so just kind of grab the back of your trainer, pull them in. The reason we're doing that is by bending the knee, because the hamstrings bend the knee, if we put it in such a short position, the hamstrings can't really do anything. They can't generate much force, and for muscles to produce the most amount of force, it needs to be kind of not too long, not too short, just kind of in the middle, kind of think of like Goldilocks. So by really short it, the hamstrings can't do much, but the glutes are still in a good position. Now they can do most of the work. So the hamstrings are now out of the way, they can't do anything. The glutes are now just the sole muscle that they're going to be able to push the hips, to extend the hips and get those working. So with those there, keep your band on as well, keep a bit of tension on it, because that's also going to get the glute knee to work, get the glutes to fire a little bit more. Start with your hands down, you're just going to push your bum into the air, squeeze your bum, remember, don't drop your money, squeeze that 20-pound notes through your bum cheeks, you're going to come down, nice and slow, 2 seconds, push back up, squeeze it, hold it for 4 seconds, keeping your belly button pulled in as well, come back down, push back up, squeeze it, keep that tension on your band, hold it there, come back down nice and slow. Again, if you want to make this harder, put your hands onto your chest. Again, that'll get the core to work a bit harder as well. You've got less base of support now. Push up and hold it, squeeze your bum really, really tight, come back down. If you want to make it even harder, have the arms up into the air. Okay. Push up, squeeze it, hold it, come back down again. Again, if you want to take it even further, you want to really kind of dial in and really get those glutes working as you get more advanced. We're going to do a single leg variation. So again, I'm going to keep that leg nice and bent, float the other leg in the air. Again, you have your hands wherever you want to have them. And again, you're going to push your hips up into the air and hold it. Come back down. Push your hips up into the air and hold it. You can have your hands here, you can have them here. Push up and hold it, or you can even have them in the air if you want it really, really tough. And with the band on as well. Because again, that is a good progression. It's tough. Probably wouldn't start with a single leg variation. I'll start with a bridge. But again, have a play around with those. I would, if I was a beginner starting off, I would probably go with the clams. I'd go with the clams first, and I would go with, because it's less load, and I'd go with the hip bridge. Again, the straight leg raise is a good one. If you can do it and pull it off, if you can keep that leg straight, it's perfect. If you are really finding that your knees are bending quite a lot, I'd leave it. Go with the hip bridge. It's a bit of a nice position to get into. So there you guys go. That is your glute activation techniques. And then from here, like I said, I'll show you a video where we do the circuit. But once you've got those glutes working, then go do your squats, deadlifts, lunges, step-ups, jumps, your sport, whatever it is. Now the glutes are involved. Now we've optimized. Now we've really started to optimize things we've got our hip joint in a better position, the spine's in a better position, the knees are in a better position. Now we can squat. Now we can get the most out of it. Now we can go smash your PBs and all the rest of it. Smash your sport, whatever it is that you're doing. We can do it now. We're not now chasing. We're not chasing our tail anymore. We're not putting fires out. We've optimized everything. We've fixed everything. We've assembled. We've got all the pieces and we've assembled the puzzle. That's what we're doing. There is some other things we can do, which I'm going to show you in future videos about trying to get the muscles to fire a little bit faster, how to integrate them as well. So we're not quite done yet, but again, it's just you get the picture. We've done enough to start assembling things and getting things where they're working. We've addressed the short muscles. We've addressed the long underactive muscles. Yeah, there are some extra things we can do, which I'm going to go through, but we've done the bulk of it. We've done the bulk of what we need to do now. Again, like I said, we're not chasing our tail. We're getting rid of the problems at the source. That's what we're doing. So hopefully, you guys, that makes sense. Okay, thanks for watching. Try those glute exercises out. There are other glute ones you can do. I will show you some more progressions with these. So these are just a great way to start. These are some good universal ones. And again, to optimize in motion, clearing up those dysfunctions I spoke about previously, and getting us back, back to where we want to be. Really get that good quality movement that we're after. So again, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section or shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. Love to answer any questions you've got around, hip mobility and glute strengthening. That'd be brilliant. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.